Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of A Soul of and Divine of Build, played by Adrian. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, what happened last time, gang?
Wedding. More wedding.
Dancing.
Making out.
Making out, yeah.
Getting cock-blocked.
Getting cut.
It was
Haven't
going
actually
so well. You just
added
had
a
to see the
picture.
waterfall, didn't you?
It's the feature of the town.
Fair. Fair,
Yeah,
yes.
there was.
Slow dancing in the dark.
Oh, there were a bunch of good. It was a bunch of good little moments in this one.
Yes. Well, we can start with that you did dance a lot. I was so happy that you wanted to dance for you. You were a little bit like, and then you just went and spun around there. Aaron threw some trees. Lost horribly.
I didn't think I'm lost.
You did a couple of, that's very true. There were some giggling gaggle of girls to avoid.
You then instead brought directly into my path, thank you.
Yes. You talked to the groom of the party, which, well, he was terrified but very happy. You gave some flirting advice to their friend, who was hopeless. Very much hopeless. You know, you met Anya, a failed Rihannish apprentice, whose soul was a little bit soothed as you did a prayer with her. They're very cute. Aaron and Lida went off to their little moonlit dance, which were so sad and so beautiful at the same time, and it was so fun to start that piece of music and see Lola's little mouth go Pikachu.
Pika gas.
I like rewatched it like 3 times to just rewind and like ah! It's so cute.
It was a completely genuine reaction. So far away.
You know, but you learned some stuff about the town, some old stories about Aaron and the wolves. Learning that the wolves sometimes comes around here, but not as much anymore since they're not moving merchandise through the village. But you probably don't have much to fear from the wolves if Aaron is still on good terms with Gregor, which is questionable since Gregor was annoyed at Aaron's lack of loyalty.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a tense moment when Aaron decided to leave the ranks. Titania and Acheron once again have a bit of a weird fact moment where you talk about how dangerous the ancients are once more, how everybody's going to die, how the party members need to learn a hard lesson because they don't respect the agents enough. Titania muses that she might simply be an experiment.
Yeah, she has a hypothesis running.
Yes. And then you turn to a bunch of philosophy and I stopped listening.
Yeah, man.
That's what I think we just got roasted.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Roasted in a recap.
I can't blame her.
Alright.
Wow, and I thought I came up with a really cool point there, but fine. Noted for the future, I guess. How dare you.
We'll need more philosophy. You cannot
She's
stop
just
us.
salty because we're making her redundant with all of our philosophical talks.
No, it's okay. No, I love them. It was just a joke. It was an abbreviation. Yeah, but Aaron walks up to the Jodran, and then Jodran became Pikachu face. We revealed to him that you were a priest, and he started asking if he could buy forgiveness. But Aaron gets angry at Jodran because he's not handling his duty as well as he should. He gets punched You nervously be
Another
like,
surprise Pikachu face.
yes,
I bet
from
everyone
me,
is
from
Pikachu.
me, yeah. Ginevra gets herded back to safety of the inn by Aaron, and then he picks up Akron to go and check the border. Everything seems pretty okay, but you also go up to the vantage point of the waterfall where you find some mysterious indentions into the moss.
Serious.
Yes. Acheron discusses again how dangerous agents are, and Aaron has
Really hyping up the agents.
It's all I do. Listen, I can do. What's the fucking meme? There's three things I do. Talk about how dangerous the agents are, eat hot chip, and whatever the fuck the third thing was.
yeah.
There you
Yes, and Aaron has a sudden flashback of desolation, which was very interesting. And then you return to Indigo to sleep. You wake up to a beautiful day, and at the breakfast table, Titania is given a letter from her mom.
Oh yeah, we didn't say this on stream last time, but the Canalux family crest is a rising sun of yellow on a field of blue and white. Just for the future. Yeah.
Oh
Well, I haven't
yeah.
told you that. Have I, Bexxy? Hey.
No,
I
you
am-
told me.
I told you, Aspen.
I have
I know,
been
I know
very
everything.
scared because when I went back to look into my notes, I should have asked you this beforehand. I only have the 2 NPC documents. I don't have the general document. So we should probably solve that.
Yes. We'll split
Who
after the
even
session.
are you?
We just have
I'm
all the
sorry, I
NPCs.
find that funny because I know how long those NPC documents are, so I think that's kind of funny.
You were like full profiles on your NPCs.
What I do
Yeah,
is
there's
I
basically
do-
2 backstory documents just for NPCs of 2 different eras. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's
also the
great.
one that's working for us.
I love it.
Imagine having time.
What I do for NPC documents is I try and if they're worth of a general history, I like to write it in records format, and then I give all of Titania's thoughts on them and her
Yeah.
experiences with them.
Yeah, but it
So
worked.
it's
It worked really well. It worked really well.
That's great
Yeah,
for a DM.
it was really fun for me because it was kind of how I got Titania's character voice down, just in terms of the words, not the tone. It was a great. I
Yeah, it's
recommend it for
really
everybody.
good.
It's awesome.
Really good to write in your character's voice. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But without
Yeah, okay.
but now I am
Nope.
deciding we're going to start.
Yes.
Just so you know. Alright, okay. We find ourselves back to the breakfast table at the Soft Fall Inn. Where Acheron has just made a comment of Tia, you know what this really means, don't you?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't think I'm gonna send a reply. She picks it up off the table. I'll hold on to it. Puts it in her bag.
All right. Akron, did you inform Titania about our excursion last night?
That we didn't see anyone?
Well, true, we didn't see anyone, but the
Oh, yes.
evidence.
There are footsteps. There were footsteps at the top of a waterfall, the waterfall that we went to visit.
Do you think? I mean, not that we needed much confirmation more than we already had, but do you think?
Yes,
Oh, great.
yes, I think it was them.
I don't think this is much of a surprise. I mean, we knew
It
that they
really
were
isn't.
watching. It's a question of whether or not we follow such a lead or we just keep on doing what we're doing.
How would you suggest we followed such a lead?
Well, we attempt to track it, if possible, but I have a part feeling that that's going to be a huge waste of time.
Especially if it was last night, I mean.
They were probably long gone by the time you two even got up there.
Perhaps. But then they're too far away, right? That's the whole thing, Geneva.
That is true. Personally, I don't think much would come of us going out searching. I think probably just continuing the road, being wary, keeping up with our job would probably be for the best, though. Acheron?
Acheron just kind of looks at Titania flatly for a moment, but says nothing.
I imagine that they are good enough to cover up their tracks. Maybe they might last for a while, but eventually I think they would just end up running out and we'd be in the middle of nowhere.
My thought as well.
Then we proceed as planned?
I think so.
Alright, well.
Any unfinished business to take care of in town before we head out, or?
I suppose I should go speak to Jadron. Had a bit of a minor altercation in the evening. Just, I don't want him thinking bad of me if we need to come back here. I hope not, though. These people, they need to be left alone. Whether or not that's going to be the case, who can say? Nevertheless, that is the only piece of business I have remaining here in Cedar Falls. Anyone else?
Alright. I didn't really do much more than introduce myself to any of the people here, so.
I'm glad you took some time to enjoy yourselves.
Thank you. Alright. I'm gonna get myself ready. And she excuses herself. I excuse myself, go up to the, back to our room to pack stuff up.
Yeah. Thank Olenka on your way.
Yeah.
Well, I have my pack already bundled up, traveling light and all, and just go outside and saddle up and fix up Zelia, and then go to Jadron's home, I believe, or try and find him.
Where would? I think Jadron is probably passed out on the party grounds, lying in a patch of grass where you threw some trees. The tankard of ale still half beside him. He's sleeping very soundly.
If anyone else wants to go first, I can. No? I look for a bucket.
Oh god. Yeah. You are able to scrounge up a bucket with cold river water.
And I spot Jadron snoozing in the grass. I'll go over to him. And I'll slowly pour it over his crotch area. Until it, faster and faster and faster until he wakes up.
Yeah, he comes awake with a all at once, sits up, red in the face, and saying very loudly, louder than I'm going to do. Patron's beard! I'm pissing myself!
Best of morning to you, Jadron.
Aaron could have done it to my face.
I throw the water in his face.
Ah!
You asked. I mean, what more do you want from me, Jadron?
I am going to place poop one of these days in your bed.
Well, it won't be the first time. I
True.
just wanted to, and I'll kneel down to him. Presumably, he's still on the ground.
Yeah, he's like, his upper body is straight, but he still has his leg on the ground, and he's just basically trying to wring out water from his beard and his hair.
I grab his chin real quick and turn his face towards where I punched it to inspect for any signs of significant damage.
Kind of pushes away your arm. No worries. You couldn't deal any damage to me. I mean, if you wanted to. Jesus, I haven't had tea. Headache tea.
Oh. With a head as hard as yours, I imagined you could take such a thing. After all, I pull my punches.
I need to get a hard head around you. And your monotone voice.
Listen, Jadron, it's all well and good exchanging fun pleasantries with you, but this morning we leave. Most I am grateful for your and the Cedar Falls hospitality. I need you to hear these words. We didn't come here unseen. We know this.
Obviously.
And those that follow us are not exactly the kindest folk I've learned to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a lookout. Be vigilant. I can't imagine anything necessarily going wrong, but apparently just being around these people that I'm escorting is warrant for interrogation, perhaps. So if anything happens, send a boy runner to the wolves.
Alright. I'm gonna do so. And good riddance. If you are followed by these dangerous people, frankly, Cedar Falls wouldn't want to have you here anymore.
Or we leave. And why I thank you for your hospitality once more.
And if they come asking, I will tell them that I don't associate with airheads.
Just show them the bruise on the sides of your cheek. They'll understand.
Yeah. They will see. They will see a girl hit me and understand it was you.
I give him a playful half slap on the face. Good to see you, Jeremy. Keep safe.
Stop my headache. Yeah, Aaron. You take care. Next time you better be alive when I see you again.
I as I turn and walk away and he says that, I just give a half motion back and a half smile on the side of his on his mouth, and turns and continues walking back to the stable.
Alright. Ginevra, I assume you also go upstairs to pick. What you have?
I also wanted to go seek out Anya.
Oh, okay.
When we left.
But before you do, as you pack your bags, sitting on top of your things in your bag is a rock. Not just any normal kind of rock, though. In your hands is a painted angry face with really thick and dramatic eyebrows and the deepest frown possible.
on top of my things.
Yeah, just planted there on top of your things inside
Like
of
a
your
small
pack.
rock.
Yeah, like a rock with an emoji on, you know?
I turn the rock over. Do I see anything on the other side?
No, it's just an angry face staring up at you, going, eh.
What? Okay. I don't think there's anything I can probably discern about the rock other than it just being a rock with an angry face.
Yeah.
Do I see any signs of who may have come into my room to place the rock?
No, you have no idea. It's just a rock with an angry face.
Okay. Okay. I'll just put it to the side. I'm very confused. Maybe slightly worried.
Maybe you should be. I don't know. Well, I do know, but I won't say.
Okay.
Alright, okay. You, you pack your things, walk downstairs, and as Aaron is out talking to Jadran, you try to find Anya. She went to bed actually at a respectable hour, so you eventually find her after asking around from some very tired, early people who are woken up early. You find her outside a pretty small house closer to the river, where she has a little rocking chair in her garden that she just is enjoying the morning with some breakfast, looking at the river. But she hastily removes the cloth that she has in her lap as she sees you and like stands up in respect.
Oh, please. There's no need for that. Sit. I won't be long. I just wanted to come by and see you before I left. We're leaving soon. I just wanted to say a few words, and then I'll be on my way.
Oh, dear me, you didn't need to bother yourself with old Anya.
It's no bother. You're not a bother.
Well, I should have another share, but your all died a few years
that
ago.
won't be necessary. Honestly, I just wanted to come to say this.
All right.
Leave soon.
I'm all ears.
And I'll kind of reach out to her hand and kind of hold it in both of my own. Look to her and say, "You're never too old to do good in the name of something you believe. You need not follow a worn path to do so. Faith has no age."
Oh, thank you, dear, for the sentiment. I've tried to repent for my foolish youthful mistakes, and well, there's not always a priest in these parts, in the deep forests, and whenever they need me to find courage and support, well, there are still a few psalms safely tucked away in my head.
It's not about the number of psalms that you know. It's about the love you have in your heart. The strength it gives you to make the world brighter. That's what's important.
Oh, bless you, child. If I were like you when I was younger, I think my life would have turned out all right. You are correct. Very much so.
I hope you soon learn to see the the goodness and the light that you have in the life that you've lived, the life you have now.
I hope I have found it. But if you say so, then you make this old woman very happy.
I'll give her a nod and then leave her to her, swinging on her chair.
May Rian bless whatever you walk, Shad. And you leave. Alright? Mm-hmm. And return to the shuffle in for you, horsey. Acheron?
I think Acheron went up to their room briefly just to check on Titania, so follow Tia up at first.
Oh, yeah. When you get in there, she's just has the letter in hand, rereading it.
Do you want the company, or do you need a couple moments?
Yeah, I could probably... This is a problem on many levels, because it's definitely her handwriting. Which is not what I expected.
It could be genuine.
I mean, even if it is genuine, it's still a message that you even got delivered in the first place.
It is. You had to have known that this would reach them eventually.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's just...
I wish I could better know what to say or help you, but unfortunately, this is the one issue I can't relate to you on.
That's true.
Really have anyone for them to get to like this. Well, now he's not already with me.
It's very strange not having seen any of them in what? Almost 10 years now. And then... Now, of all times, of course. Something can't just get simpler, it has to get more complicated. It just... Part of me really just wants to ignore it. Just throw it in a rubbish bin somewhere and leave it be, but...
Acheron, instead of saying something, is just going to swiftly move forward and wrap their arms around Titania in a hug. And just kind of give her a really big hug. Just say, you don't have to decide now. Maybe keep the letter for a bit. And then decide at a better point. I never had the chance to hate my family like you might, so I can't really help you here, but I'm here for you. Whatever you need.
Thanks.
This is all I can offer.
I think you're right in that it's a problem for another day. I'll hold on to it.
Would you like some music while you pack up?
Oh, no, I'm practically done. We should probably get going. Thank you.
Acheron will nod, pick up their bags, and start playing, just like on the way out, pick up their pan flute. Just play music anyway. It's just like a cute little tune. It's not like the extremely somber lullaby that was heard in all those nights ago in Old Home. I say all those nights, it's been like 3 days. But it's just kind of a cute little, like, lighthearted tune with some, like, light notes. It kind of reflects bird song almost.
Aww.
It's very, like, melodic and dainty and cute. It kind of bounces about. And yeah, Acheron will just have a sick time playing. They have like a pan flute with the 2 rows. It's at least a full scale, or a full octave at least, with like all that stuff. And there's like cording wrapped around it, and from one end of the cording there dangles a string with a collection of feathers on them, each one different. No, Alexa, shut the fuck up.
Collection.
That's it. That's it. Anyway, it was lovely having me. I'm gonna go jump off a bridge now. Bye-bye. No. So there's dangles a bunch of, I hate my life, feathers, and they're all different, and yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go kill myself.
Hey, Aspen, it's okay. We were just talking about this before session. This is wild.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know, it's just the agents in the background picking up their heads.
Cannon.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. Okay. All right. Eventually, you find yourself all together, ready to go.
Right, I want to like when I see Acheron, I'm gonna say like, hey, and throw the rock, like toss the rock at her, because I know that she'll be able to catch it. They will be able to catch the rock.
Any pronouns are fine for Acheron.
Collector of them all.
Acheron will catch the rock and look down at it and look back up and show Tia.
Did you do this? Was this you?
Kaya, what? No, you can't. No.
It was you.
I didn't do any. Hey, what do you mean not now? I kind of put the hands on their hips.
You know, it's your
Titania, what does this mean?
So, are you? Do you want to tell her, or should I?
Kyle will press the rock into your hand, making it your problem now to explain this, and just continue on the pan flute, quietly walking towards the horse.
So Acheron has some troubles sometimes being direct, and when they're upset with you, this is what you get. I've gotten several.
Okay.
A lot, actually. There are other ones, but this is the one we use most often. That they use really.
Okay, so this is a reusable rock. It's good that I brought this rock. I was gonna leave it in the room.
I mean, they are reusable, but Acheron always finds ways to get more.
Okay. Yeah. Should I be
You
worried?
can do it if you want to count. I mean, they're upset with a lot of people at a lot of times, but you guys are emotionally mature. You can work it out. Maybe. Actually, that might not be true about Acheron. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
they're trying their
I'm not
best.
sure how to discuss a problem with someone who introduces the problem with a rock with an angry face on it. I mean, does that mean I can discuss it, or I have to just wait until I get a rock with a happy face on?
You know, whenever it happens to me, I always try to ask what the problem is.
Okay.
First, and then that's like how I start a conversation, so we can start working on it. Because they never will. This is all you get. They're not gonna initiate.
Okay. All right.
You can hold on to it if you want, and then give it back to them.
No, you can keep it. I got the message.
Okay. I'll. Yeah. So probably just expect more in the future, I guess. For as long as we're working together.
How many different expressions do the rocks have?
At least 4.
Wow.
I think.
I mean, that's more expressions than I see her have in her real face, so.
Now that's true. Okay. I'm gonna go give this back to them. Yeah.
I'll talk with them about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for enlightening me.
We've been very close for the last 2 years. We've developed our ways of communicating.
Yeah, clearly. I'm glad to be involved. It's very insightful.
Okay. I will go and deliver the rock to Acheron and be like, What did she do?
If I have one more issue, I'm gonna throw it off a bridge. Acheron looks at you and says, well, she outed my deepest, darkest, most deadly secret and then continues to keep all of her own. She ruined the one good moment I had last night, trying to help the other person that regularly pisses me off in this party. She generally refuses to listen to me and disregards what I says. I'm upset with her, but like, I thought this was an okay way of like communicating.
Yeah, it is. It's good. But also, that's because I know what it means. Kaya.
It's an angry face. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
But it doesn't, like, have your name on it, or, like, the problem that you want to try and indicate, you know? You could, when you're upset with somebody and you're trying to solve a problem, they gotta know it's you, and they gotta know what the problem is, or else nothing's gonna get anywhere. Hey, how about next time? Let's update the rocks with your name. How about that?
I mean, if you think it'll help, I don't really think this is a problem she can fix anytime soon, but sure. I was just trying to...
That's also true, but she could try to make it up to you at least.
Sure. Fucking Hector lied to me. He said this was a good way to talk to people.
I mean, I thought it was effective, but hey, that's us, you know, we're a little bit...
Hector's wrong. Emotions are stupid.
Hey, okay, I'm gonna go out. Akron and I are gonna have a chat about emotional expression this morning. That's
Akron honestly looks like a scolded child more than like anything else. This is like when you tell off a cat when they bring you like a dead bird and you're just like yelling at your cat.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Tanya's gonna get on her horse and get ready to go.
Okay.
Akron just goes back to playing the cute Bexxy tune until someone else comes to talk to him.
Alright. Wait a moment.
Method of conflict resolution causes more conflict.
Angry rock.
Like, Geneva will go up to Aspen at some point, like Acheron. Fuck. At some point.
Alright, but let's leave this village first.
Yeah.
Once there's a conversation and there's been some time.
Okay. I think I'm able to deliver exposition now. Okay. You all settle into your saddles as you steer your horses out from Glunka's yard, leaving Savoie Inn, the mill, and the brewery behind. The journey through the village is relatively short and very calm. You do see some partygoers who are waking from their stupor, passed out in the grass or on the tables. Some of these are preparing themselves to head home, either to a house here or to whichever village they belong to, hiding in this great ocean of trees. Most houses lay silent. It seems like those who haven't woken up on moss or grass, but instead in their home are definitely sleeping in today. All that you hear is the various low and tired murmurs of those preparing for journey home and the occasional sound of an animal. A hen picking at the dirt, a dog barking at your passing, and an angry voice telling them to shut up, and a sheep braying in welcome of the morning. You head past the watchtower once more with huge quotation marks, passing by that same disgruntled looking Straza, still without a helmet, leaning against the support beam of the watchtower. His eyes just watches you intently as you leave with his perpetual frown, not saying anything. Alright. Alright. And we shall move to our new wood picture. Woo!
New backgrounds, yes.
Yes. And let's add some.
Progress.
Yes. There we go. Soon City Falls disappears from your view. Once more, your world is dominated by the forest around you. Let's calm down a little bit there. It is a beautiful Zurich day, the month of late summer. The temperature is already about 20 degrees, despite the early morning, but will probably climb higher around lunchtime. You're worried that you might start to sweat on the horse today, but after an hour or two of riding, the wind picks up to the point where smaller trees and larger branches sway in the wind. Thankfully, you have the wind diagonally in your back, a northeastern wind, fanning you as you travel. You travel past patches of ancient forest where the bark is exceptionally thick. Moss and mushroom climbs high up on the trunks, and great moss beards hangs off from the branches, and you also have several fallen trees in the underbrush. This is contrasted by great stretches of cleared forest, where roots, exceptionally thin trees, and younger trees are left. A squirrel hops by on your right, unable to hear you properly in the wind. Once it sees you, however, it grows scared and swiftly disappears up a tree. Is there something interesting you want to talk about this morning?
I will approach Acheron if there's no one who wants to talk to each other. Leaving some, time, not going like immediately after they're done talking with Titania, just allowing them to have some time to be by themselves with their feelings. But yeah, I will kind of idly trot up the side.
I kind of give you like a half glance at the corner of their eye as you approach.
Hey. I want to apologize for last night. I think I maybe got in the way of something that was happening with you, and it really wasn't my intention. I was just trying to get some girls away from chasing Aaron around, and genuinely just wanted to see the waterfall. It's been a long time since I've seen water like that.
I'm not mad about you wanting to see a waterfall, but thank you for the apology. Like, it sounds super, like, scripted. Like, this is definitely a line someone else has, like, taught them to say. They're saying it the same way, like, a, child repeats, like, thank you for I'm sorry as their parents have, like, scripted for them.
Yeah, definitely. But I understand that's, that's good for them.
Yeah. Titania tells me that the rock thing may not have been the right way to do this.
I mean, it would have helped to know it was from you. And, the more information tends to be the better when it comes to having issues, because miscommunication usually just leads to more issues. It's useful for me, and I'd like you to be able to feel comfortable enough to come to me when you have a problem with me, and us to be able to talk about it. But I understand that that's not easy, even with people who are very open with these kinds of things. So I can do the rock now. I understand what it means.
I know it
But
probably seems really silly, but I was kind of, we'll call it raised for the sake of generosity, but we both know what I'm referring to. It's kind of raised to have no emotions at all. And when I left my previous employment, it left me with no ability to communicate emotional issues with people and no idea where to even start. So, a friend of mine recommended the rocks as a starting point. I know it probably seems silly and childish, but I genuinely have no foundation for actually having emotions or expressing them correctly.
no,
So
I
hope this
understand.
isn't too far off.
Like I said, I understand what that they're from you now and what they mean, or it's from you.
It makes you feel better. Aaron almost got one as well.
I mean, even though you may not feel like you're able to communicate the emotion explicitly by giving it a name and talking about it, at least to me, I think you're fairly easy to tell. At least when you're angry. I mean, maybe it's just with us. And if it is, I mean, I think that's kind of a compliment. I'm glad that you're able to be more open with your feelings around us rather than feeling like you have to hide them all the time. That's the main thing. I just didn't want you to feel like you had to hide it. And I understand not having the vocabulary. And I think this is a good place to start. But I think the more you practice, the better it will get, the easier it will get.
Well, thank
However
you
long
for
it
being
takes.
understanding. And as far as showing my anger with you guys, it is a lot easier to display your emotions when your deepest, darkest secret got dragged out of you against your own will in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still very sorry for that. That was definitely one of the biggest regrets I have with this whole thing. Truly.
I mean, you should feel more sorry for yourself now more than anything. I hope you never planned to leave the church because you can't now. And you dragged Aaron into that as well.
What makes you say that?
Because I used to do this for a job. You know about the agents now. Regardless, if they find out that you know, you can't ever leave because you know. If they don't kill you off the bat, you're stuck in service for the rest of your life. With the same secret I had. So Zarin, if they find out he knows. I really don't say this like a broken record to hype myself up and make my past job look like cool or dangerous or whatever. I'm really trying to save lives. Your life, actually.
No, I appreciate it. Like, I don't have an in-depth knowledge of it all. I only know about its existence of basically and the general gist of the purpose. And so it's very useful to have that insider knowledge to give a bit more detail and context. And that obviously contributed to my lapse of judgment in the moment.
I think Akron shifts on their horse a little uncomfortably, like they're trying to weigh how to phrase something for a couple of moments. And they say, I think part of my annoyance, let's call it, is because I have forgotten that being constantly in the shadow of your own death is not a common experience, and most people do not know how to handle it correctly. So your mistakes, I think I forget that there are people who don't know how to react to this type of information. It has contributed to a large amount of my annoyance. I am working on that. I would say that it's weird. It's hard to trust you. It's hard to work with you because on the one hand, you are a reminder of the worst part of my life and everything I have tried so hard to leave. And on the other hand, I don't want to hate you. And it's hard to figure out which path to go down because they are completely diverged.
I understand. And I take it as a great compliment that you don't want to hate me. It means a lot coming from you.
I hope that we can get to a point where we can like each other, if not trust each other.
I think that point is already past for me, but I'm coming to this from a very different position, so...
I mean, you have the most power in the group. You continue to hold the most power over everyone in this group.
Is that how it feels?
Let's see, you still have all of your deep secrets. You are coming from the position of a place in the organization that is currently hunting us. You literally hold the most actual power across the land that we're in currently just by being a priestess. You're the only one who is not being currently hunted by something or someone or does not have some sort of reputation with some kind of criminals.
I understand the facts.
So yes, it does. You are the only one that holds a deep, dark secret involved in all of this that none of us know about. So yes, it does feel like you have some amount of power over the rest of us that we cannot match. Which I understand that it's necessary. You've said that. That doesn't mean it's not true.
I can understand the secret feeling like it's power over someone, but trust me, my secrets leave me no power over any of you. But I understand that's only my word, and honestly, I don't wish to keep them from you, truly. It's purely because they're not my own secrets. Not mine to give for now. Not until I'm sure and we're not in such a precarious situation. Trust me, Coco, I don't wish to keep anything from you.
Well, as Hector would say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So.
We may do with what we have.
I appreciate you trying to fix this. I just wish it were simpler.
Trust me, I know exactly the feeling. I can't remember when I didn't feel that way, honestly. I've forgotten.
Well, I suppose the only thing we can do is wait to see what everyone wants. No one in that town knew who you were, right?
I mean, Aaron informed one person I was a priestess, and another seemed to recognize me as one. That's about
But,
it.
you didn't give them your name, right?
No.
Okay,
Not that I'm aware of.
good. You're learning.
I mean, maybe... What's his name? Yadran? Maybe?
Oh, well, he'd die anyway, so he's already fucked if they're after the town.
No, other than that.
Okay, well then. And Kai said that, completely, emotionless, as if it were, as casual as being oh, water's wet,
Yeah.
very devoid of emotion, matter-of-factly, and just gives you, a half shrug. I really
Alright.
don't mean to be so harsh, but if you think you've upset me, the person you fucked yourself over is the person who you fucked over the most is yourself.
I understand that.
I don't think you do yet, and I hope you never do.
I appreciate the concern. And I honestly do, I don't mean that to sound condescending. I genuinely understand the knowledge and the experience you have. Obviously, I can't fully understand it, but I understand where it's coming from. And that's why I understand if you give me more angry rocks in the future. I'll try and do minimal things to make it necessary. But I get when you have something that you care about, you're looking out for the safety of, that emotions can run high. So I don't take it personally, especially I know I at least knew you. Maybe things have changed, but
Is this something I should warn Aaron about before giving him one, or do you think it's just fine for him to expect one now?
I think you should probably, tell them this is me being angry at you, just so you know.
Okay.
Or you can just say I'm angry at you. And then you don't need a rock.
I will explain the rock issue to Aaron. And actually, right as Akron says that, Akron's gonna shout to Aaron. I'm gonna ride up to Aaron.
I was thinking like we would probably be in Titania. Might have had like a short word.
Yeah.
Do you wanna?
Meanwhile.
Yeah, like cause sided 2x2 kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have a scene. I just don't know what I'd run.
You just don't know.
I just don't know what I'd initiate the conversation with right now.
Oh no,
sorry.
it's fine. I have more than enough. Don't worry.
Okay.
Ooh, exciting.
Yes. Seeds.
So side by side, clip clop, clip clop. Aaron looks up to the sky and just says loud enough to assume that it's a comment to Titania. Not raining today.
I can appreciate that. Means my books won't get as wet.
Why do you bother carrying them? It's very heavy.
I think, the reason I like to keep all my information in one space, and while I do have, I have very well-honed, trained memory, I can't keep all of that in my head, so I take notes, and I like to keep them on me at all times so I can reference back to them if I forget something or if I need to connect a couple of dots. It's helpful for my work and for everything.
What are you working on now?
Well, this job, investigating, these rumors about a devil's artifact. But I assume that's not the question you're asking.
I mean, we've just started. You can't have that much to go on by this time, but you've always seemed to have books with you, at least as far as I remember. Last time we...
Yeah. I mean, I'm collecting information about a lot of things at once. Longer term projects, stuff. The occasional, as the papers that I submit.
looking for?
the context behind this mission, I'm not learning anything specifically, I'd say, but I'm having hints towards, enough points that I could put together a theory, or more theories. And you all are people of interest for my larger projects, and for one point or another. I hope that doesn't how to put it. I hope that's not creepy or invasive, but okay. Out of nowhere question. What exactly did Geneva mean by you not being human?
I don't know what's up with Geneva. She seems like she's looking for something. But she's
Okay.
also, looks around to see them conversing, Acheron and Geneva conversing, so there's something about Geneva that doesn't sit well with me. And I thought I'd let you know. I've been listening to some words that she's been saying, and I can't really recall exactly who asked the question, but when confronted with knowing about devil artifacts, her response wasn't a no. It was not with artifacts in such a way. So, why wouldn't you just say no if it's not a no? What is it? And my concern here is, does she know more than she's letting on? If your safety is my concern, then my current concern is, what other secrets does she hold? And why isn't she telling them to you? Or us? So, when she asked why she was thinking I wasn't a human, I have no idea why she would think that. But she felt like she could find some sort of evidence by putting her hand in my hair, which seemed pretty strange to me. It's a very strange woman.
I understand we all have external circumstances to consider. And I'm holding my own fair share of private information, But when a strange man dressed as a woman comes busting into an inn that we're staying at, having stabbed themselves just to have a private conversation, I think that's a cause for concern,
I'd say you're right. There's some concern to be had. I get the feeling that she's looking for something. Haven't really defined that yet, but she doesn't seem to. Well, compared to all the others that I've encountered, well, she doesn't chant the name of Rian as much as the others do. She's a priestess. Surely she would be all Rian this, Rian that, like a sheep like them all.
From my previous experiences with Geneva, she's a little more curious, inquisitive than your average priestess, and that was 10 years ago. I imagine she's, even more so now. Especially, I mean, she's been asking a lot of questions, and you know, I mean, good on her for that. That helps me with information gathering when I'm too scatterbrained to do so. But I think you're on the right track. It follows.
Just finally, I mean, it's not really my concern here. It's just more of a interesting quirk. If you want to let me know why you got Acheron eating your own food before you eat, that'll be worth an interesting thought for this next leg of the journey.
I think I'd be open to telling you right now. You know, I think it's blatantly obvious that, at this point, that Acheron and I are not in good graces with, some very powerful organizations. And while I do think that if they wanted me dead, I would be dead, I also think that one petty person in the higher-ups in the church who holds a grudge or just doesn't like me for some reason in particular could go against that, whatever plan they might have, leaving me alone, and just put an end to whatever trouble I might present at any time, by any method.
Why do
Acheron
they
believes
want
the
you
same.
dead?
Oh. Okay. I'd love to talk about it, but it's not an easy thing to talk about for me
Alright.
on a
No
personal
worries.
level.
That's fine.
Deep breaths, Tanya. Deep breaths. Yeah, I essentially you could say I stole valuable secrets.
Yeah.
Essentially, I guess I'm using a euphemism just because I'm not comfortable talking about it. Give me a bit, and I'm sorry.
Take a breath. Enjoy the air. It's not raining.
Okay, thank you. That's probably around the time Acheron so it's over.
Yes. Okay. Oh,
You
right.
hear Acheron screaming behind him.
I mean, I'll get closer. Akron doesn't actually like yelling. So, Aaron, I've been told it would be good to inform you of a thing that might occur. So, here it goes. If you receive a rock with an angry face on it, it means I'm mad at you.
What?
What? Questions about what it is, or are you asking me what a rock with an angry face is?
Why do you have to give an angry rock?
I'm bad at conflict.
Oh. Well, that's too bad for you.
I don't understand the what?
Conflict can be healthy. Obviously, in moderation. How about you just, I don't know, ask to throw down? Or just throw down?
Because violence makes me evil.
According to who?
The Akron's mouth just like opens and closes a few times, like they're trying to find words, and they just like get like the very like, not like a ton, but there's like a panicked light in their eyes as they have no answer.
How about you keep your rock, Akron?
Fuck you, you'll get a rock if I say you do.
As you like.
Just falls back. Quiet.
Titania looks over at Aaron and says, You'll get used to it.
And strange friends that you keep, Titania. Is there something else I should know? Some other gifts I should be expecting?
You might get rocks with different faces on them.
Really? How many am I to expect?
That depends on how strongly your actions impact how Acheron's feeling. It depends. They've mostly done it with just me. So I'm not sure how it's gonna work with you. You know, it's more than likely it's gonna be individualized to every person, their experience with every person. Although that hypothesis could be wrong. I don't know.
I have to say I can't really recall someone needing to do this. And I've been around a while.
I guess Acheron isn't your typical someone, you know.
He certainly has a story to tell, but you will not tell it.
I don't think it's mine to tell. And
No,
I only know bits and pieces.
I'm not asking you to tell me, Titania. I'm not asking Acheron to tell me. You tell me if you want to. I'll listen. But it's... what a bunch we all make. Riding down this road together on some ponies and a warhorse. With colorful rocks with faces on them. Doing the Queen's bidding. Seems a little bit strange to me compared to our last outing. But keeps things interesting. So
Maybe someone will write a song. Who knows?
maybe so.
That's and scene.
All right. Wow. Jeez. I haven't laughed so much. Oh my god.
You're welcome, Ian. You're welcome, Gina, for not having to do anything for half an hour.
You come up with one way for your emotionally stunted character to have growth, and Ev becomes a meme immediately. Invented emojis.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. You continue traveling. Sometime, like an hour before midday, the sound of beating hooves of a galloping horse can be heard behind you.
Single horse?
Fast. Single horse.
I wheel around Zelia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make way. And it sounds like they're just charging through.
Make way!
Do I have a feeling they'll see me before I see them? That was a bad way to ask. Are we on a hill? I just realized I couldn't ask.
It's more of like you're in a pretty long straight, and they are coming up from behind a bend, and you're in the beginning of the straight. But Aaron wheeled in Celia, turned around, facing who's ever galloping behind.
I'll unsheath my bastard sword.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
jeez.
that.
I'll put a
Oh,
hand on my bow. I won't pull it out, but seeing that, I will put my hand around my bow.
All right, and
Sorry. I just think Acheron just takes their feet out of the stirrups and gets ready for a quick dismount if it's necessary instead of
Makes sense.
preparing to fight.
It's just like seeing everybody touch their weapons. The Tanya literally just backs away from the rest of the
Like, let's go, horsey. Let's go back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Anyway, rounding
Anyway.
the corner.
yeah.
It's happening pretty fast. A galloping horse comes, and on top of it is the armored face of a Strasser, dressed in the Strasser way.
Never mind, I'm getting out of the way. I'm getting out of the way. Bye-bye.
You indeed see the colors, think there's some kind of, official business going on. But the horse slows down and skids to a stop before you. Seems to be a woman underneath the armor. And instead of drawing in a weapon, she just simply rumbles through her saddlebag, produces a letter, and declares, "For Princess Ginevra with post haste, have I found the right people?"
I look
You
around.
have mail. Agron just reach out and take it.
She kind of moves it away from you. "You're Princess Ginevra?"
I'm looking around, taking my cues from the people.
Do you want the letter to get to her or not? I'm the person in charge of her protection, which means all her mail goes through me regardless of who you are, if you want this letter delivered.
Right, then I need your name, so you can take responsibility if something happens to the letter.
Thomas.
Thomas what?
How do I know? Fuck's sake.
This is official church business.
Does the scroll or letter or whatever have a seal on it?
It's
Does it
a
look like
scroll.
It has a wax seal?
It's a scroll with a wax seal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a last name.
That's kind of the point.
Make me a.
I'm
You
really just
don't
staring
actually.
down this person, trying to look as like I'm so fucking done with your shit as possible. I'm gonna attempt to like
Alright.
intimidate them and
All right. Give
handing
me
it
give me
over.
a persuasion presence.
Finally. Persuasion I'm decent at. It's still bad, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, Akron's really just trying to use body language to look as like I am a bodyguard done with your shit as possible.
Yeah. All right.
17.
Is that spelt with a T or a TH?
A T.
All right, Thomas, bring this to Ginevra, post haste.
Will do, good sir.
And she hands it off to you. The horse kind of, reels a little bit as she turns around and then gallops the other way.
Oh my goodness, so many letters this morning. Okay.
Am I meant to be using a fake name?
No, I just didn't want to give him my real name in case the church, connects the dots and I get fucking murdered.
Yeah, no, it's just because you asked me before if anyone knew who I was. I mean, am I meant to be using a different name?
Considering this came from the church, and you're employed by the church, and owned by the church, I don't think you, church woman, need to use a different name with the church.
No, I know. I mean, just in general. I mean, I'm following what you guys are telling me in terms of not trying to give too much information, so I'm just asking, should I be using a different name?
Only use a different name if you're positive you'll respond to it naturally every single time. Because if you don't respond to it once, it's pointless and you've given yourself away. So only choose another name if if it is guaranteed that if someone were to shout that name in a crowded room and an emergency, you'd recognize it and respond.
Okay.
If not, stick to your same name. You can use something like Jenny if you want a version of your name.
I'll think about it.
I use my middle name when I'm going for fake names. That's my advice. If you have one. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, don't lose it.
Yeah, for people like me who don't have a middle or last name, I picked a new one, but I only ever used that new one, so.
So,
Akronal, how much do you trust the church?
I haven't killed me yet.
Alright, Akronal just hand the letter over without checking it. He's sorry to trust him.
Alright, let's go to the handouts. And,
There's a lot of people able to find us.
uh-huh.
I mean, we're on a road, so
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
like
we're
we're
directly
hiding.
on a road on a mission.
Oh,
That's
wait.
I'm not
is
dressed like a
directed
priestess
by the
at all.
crown.
Like, how would they know that we were? I mean,
Because we're heading down. I mean, actually, in character, that's a really fucking good question. We didn't tell them we were heading to the crossroads because that was only discussed amongst us.
I mean,
So
I look very different, and they didn't know who Ginevra was. So, I mean, maybe they were
That's
just
not
going to
really-
every random person.
yeah, but the question is, I mean, we didn't tell them which path we were taking, so they must assume. Is this the main road? Is out of character? Is this the main road to the pass that we're planning to use?
Yes.
Okay, well then that's what I'm going to
Yeah.
out loud. That's what Akron out loud is going to assume.
I mean,
Yeah.
we did come from the capital, of which you had church connections there. Safe to assume that we take the main road there, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So let's read this. Great.
Care to share, or is this another secret we'll have to wait for?
It's gonna have to wait. I'm being smart. Trust me.
As you say,
Just wait.
sunshine.
I'll crumple it up, put it in my bag.
Oh, while we're here, Akron's gonna wheel around on Aaron. Just a general note. Once we get through the pass, if you want to passive aggressively remind Ginevra she's a priestess, don't say priestess, just call her something like sunshine that's reminiscent.
Let's get through the pass first.
As long as you don't forget, remember, if she gets outed in front of someone bad, they'll either steal her or kill her.
Does it work?
Wait.
I like it.
You can be into whatever you want, sunshine.
Is this the passive aggressive if it doesn't annoy me?
It's less to annoy you, more to remind you whose allegiances you
Okay.
follow.
Fair enough.
Don't take away my fun or you'll get another angry rock. And Akron will add a little
all right,
smile to the end of that. It's clearly a joke.
I wouldn't dare. I've been warned.
Should we
So-
proceed? Or-
Yeah, let's keep moving. But I just want to check with Ginevra. Bad news, but nothing immediate. We
No.
need to know about. Okay, cool. We'll just keep moving then.
Yep.
I trust you'll give us the information when we need it.
Just carry on as normal.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, Akron will gesture for Aaron to lead and we'll start just kind of like quietly humming to themselves.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you, what did you learn to play?
The flute.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Thank you. My mother taught me.
That long ago.
I've been playing since I could.
Do I
That's right.
remember? This isn't something out of character that we discussed. Like, would I have heard you playing? When
You would have
we were in
heard
the
them
chat?
like humming more, I think, than playing. But
Yeah.
the songs are this. Now that you're like thinking of it, you recognize some of the songs that have been hummed or played actually from your time with them. They would often like hum when things were quiet or if they were nervous or if we were like waiting in anticipation for like a prank to go off, like the humming would sometimes come out. So
You're gonna give us away.
like if it was like a safe place, but like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Okay, yeah. It's nice.
Thanks. It's all I have left. Keep it going.
They're all old songs?
I kick Zelia back down the road to get the party moving.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay, we're
Alright.
plopping and talking.
Everyone will have strong and be like, haven't really. I mean, sometimes I pick up some new stuff. Like, I tried to memorize a couple of the songs from the wedding, but most of it's lullabies from Crow Hill or songs my mother taught me. There are a couple from somewhere, I'm not sure. But, I don't know.
You're not sure where they're from. How did you come to learn them?
My mother taught me. It's, it was kind of the one thing that we had for bonding. You know, the only time I got to see my parents was really late after they returned from shifts in the mines, if I was even awake at that time or well enough to understand what was happening. And my mother would teach me music as a way to spend time with me. She said they were from wherever she was born. I either didn't know or have forgotten.
I hope I can hear them sometime.
Maybe.
Maybe I could teach you one or two. I wouldn't know on the flute, but I guess I know a melody or two.
Maybe we can sometime. If things work out.
Okay, nice. An hour about passes, and you bring out your horses onto one of the patches cleared of trees with a small stream nearby. There your horses can walk freely, eating grass, and you have found a fallen tree in close proximity to two sawed-off trees, as in tree stumps, where you can confidently enjoy some food off the horse's back. You bask in the sun as the wind ruffles your hairs rather violently around, as the wind is more of a light gale.
Splash some water on my face, over my neck, my arms. Take a drink.
Refill water skins.
Yeah, I can get a refill on anything.
What's in is there flowers in the field at all?
Ha ha ha! I hear.
Poisonous or otherwise?
Mushrooms.
Make me a 1d100, please.
Oh, fancy. Just like
That's
any
very
flowers,
interesting
like poisonous ones, like preferably, but just
Yeah, I know what you want. That's what we're.
I mean, I have two things I want.
Okay.
But yeah, 14.
14. No, they're furthest away from poisonous, but there are a few, but they're not. They're more of these pretty common yellow flowers. The weeds that are everywhere that turn into these huge balls of seeds that you can blow. Whatever their name is in English.
Dandelion.
Dandelion. Thank you. I'm smart.
Can I make one into a flower crown?
Oh God. Are you gonna stop here for like?
I mean, we're stopping for lunch. So
Yeah, I thought we were stopped for a couple of seconds.
All right.
It doesn't take so long to make a flower crown.
True.
Especially dandelions are super
I mean,
easy to weave.
A daisy set,
True.
or at least like a band. Maybe a whole crown might be a bit intensive. You might need some help.
She says with a wink.
Everyone's very practiced in making flower crowns.
Yeah.
Just like a little, it can even be just like a tiny like flower tiara. I just need a flower circle.
All right, yummy, fine. There's a bit of this white liquid that comes out of dandelions, which is a little bit irritating, but they are easy to weave. And no, have you done this in the past?
Yes, many times.
Okay, fair. Then you know how to do it, and you dexterously make yourself a little flower band. There you go.
And well, after like, wiping the like liquid off it so it's dry, when Tia goes to the stream to refill her canteen, I was gonna drop it on her head.
She's like kneeling down, and that's like the only way you can put it on top of her head.
Because you're so fucking dumb.
It should take a chance so she has it.
I'm just gonna
Thank
drop
you.
it.
It's been a while since we've gotten one of these.
It's been a while
Thank
since
you.
we saw some flowers.
True.
Akron will just give like a mock bow, which like you've seen Akron give like the perfect bow to the queen, but this one's like purposefully like clunky and just kind of like they didn't really care. It's like a half curtsy, half bow type thing.
Titania just like does a very dramatic bow in response. Very dramatic, very tall.
Yeah, after that, Akron is just like, already refilled stuff, just kind of took a moment to do that lighthearted thing.
Yeah. All right. How does Aaron feel watching them?
He's like taking a sip of his water skin and just like looking at them with a very curious eye. He has a generally quite a stoic face, but it's a little softer as he witnesses it. Such a whimsical thing happen, but then turns to look into the forest to hide it. Peers into the forest, looking, checking.
Stoically.
Watch.
Oh,
Stoically. Yes, Wazowski.
Always watching. Always watching.
See if you can spot anyone. It's following.
You finish up your lunch. Mount your horses once more. I guess still with the flower crown on, Titania, rocking that comfortably. Yeah. All right. And you ride off into the afternoon. Many hours of companionable, casual conversation and stretches of silence passes you by. Activity out here, even on this main road, is sparse. Occasionally you overtake or pass wagons and carts. None greet you, however, only stares openly in suspicion and judgment. Here and there the main road connects to small forest hamlets, but they are far too small to find an inn in, nor would they have clean stables to crash in. The biggest animal these places can own, you muse, would perhaps be an oxen or two. There are also various roads and paths that snake off into the green from the main road, heading to Rion knows where. Aaron knows all too well that these paths serpentine connects to other paths in a great hidden spiderweb, where you have to be a local to understand and properly navigate. Thankfully, your road continues to be blissfully simple, just straightforward.
On occasion, Aaron will let go of the reins of Zelia. It's just, it feels like unnecessary to hold them, and just like close his eyes and stare into the sky. And,
With his eyes closed.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just his face up, tilted to the sky.
Yes, Celia follows the road dutifully.
Titania's eyeing the horse Zelia seeing is very curious about how well behaved she is, because even like the most well-trained horses she's seen have not behaved like
True.
that.
How are your horses behaving though? Is a real question. Your freaking draft horses.
Well-
what you're saying is time to roll an animal handling check just to see if she gets
No.
distracted while examining your horse.
Well, the thing is, if you do not keep track on these horses, they will veer off to the closest grass patch and start eating.
Yeah.
I got the rambunctious one.
And you hold all the carrots.
That's true.
Oh, hey, those are not for eating. Not yet, anyway.
Oh.
Special carrots. I gotta do something to them first. No. It's just a lot of like humming or whatever from Acheron. Acheron seems again like very chill or bored. Half sleepy maybe. Acheron kind of has like a, if emotions aren't running high and we're not talking about being like emotionally stunted or, in agent danger, they kind of look like either like they got no sleep the night before or like they're just perpetually kind of bored by everything around them.
I'm gonna call, well, I wouldn't necessarily call back as much as if it comes to a point where we just need like a break, like from the monotony of the clip flopping.
Oh, if you were to ask, Acheron would be like, no. Acheron would just kind of look at you like it's weird that you think that they're like that bored and they're like, this is funny.
No, he wasn't gonna talk to Acheron about that. It's more like, I know what Acheron can do. I've been with Titania. But I think we're still awaiting some sort of demonstration by the priestess about her abilities. How else are we gonna know what she can handle?
Oh, you wanna... Okay. Sure.
We could
I'm
do it
down
on
for that.
horseback. I believe she's very keen with that bow. How about the priestess?
I mean, if you think that it's smart to do it out in the open like this, I mean,
There's no one around.
seems normal.
Should we perhaps save it for when we've made camp for the night? I'd like to make good use of our hours of daylight for travel.
Oh, we can do it whilst we keep going.
What
Can
about
shoot
the
a-
arrows?
I'll leave you to it. Okay.
I mean,
I don't know, book and a pen.
I'm with Aaron. I think if Aaron wants to do this now, I have no complaints.
Yeah, there's no one around. If you think that's a good idea, then
Currently not, yeah.
okay.
You did promise, after all, priestess.
Yeah, I have no issue with just showing. I just wasn't sure if it would seem like a normal thing to do in the middle of the road, suddenly shoot my bow
I mean,
randomly.
it's not random, we're asking you.
Yeah,
Unless
Okay, let's
you
put it this
can.
way.
from anyone
Yeah.
who might see it from the outside.
I was
What are
like
you,
listening to these like almost excuses, and he's just like slowly getting like a more and more like an expression of like, okay, you're all full of shit, like you can't do anything, just carry it. So yeah, if you don't want to fire it, whatever, just
I have been admonished for my behavior whilst being watched. I am trying to defer to those who know better. And that's why I'm asking you guys. If you guys think it's okay, then I will do so.
I mean the trees aren't gonna fight back, so
Alright.
I'll tell you what, there's no one out here. It's just us in the presence of friends. We'll be fine.
Okay. And we're on a very long straight, are we? Or are we now off of that?
No, you had lunch after that, and
Yeah.
you've been riding for a few hours into
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
afternoon.
why.
But there's a bit of a bend right now. But you wait a little bit, and then you come upon a straight where you think you can shoot.
Okay. Okay. Let's have a look. I haven't done this. So I don't even know
Yeah.
what it is.
All right. You haven't even done
The only combat we have had is the mock battle.
How do you...
Yeah.
Which,
I just want to attack again.
Akron might look at Aaron and be like, oh. So, well, Ginevra prepares her bow and everything's like, hey, anytime you want a rematch. I train every morning, so.
True. Well, I don't think there is an inn close before sundown. might have to end up camping this night. There's a
That's fine.
somewhat secluded thicket I think I can recall. I'll try and locate it on the way. Yeah, I hope you don't mind roughing it.
Oh, you know me. I'm too prim and proper to be forced to live in the woods like a heathen. I can't
Don't
believe
wanna-
you'd ask this of me.
And don't want to wrinkle your dress.
Yes, forcing me to camp in the woods. I can't believe you do this. My noble blood boils at the thought.
Am I gonna get the rock?
Akron just gives you like a small. What probably now that you've like traveled a couple of days passes for like what on normal people would be like a massive smile. It's just a small grin, but it's genuine.
All right. Okay. And you never got your bow in your hand,
Yes.
an arrow in your hand. Roll the die.
All right. So I guess I'll aim at a tree I see 30 feet away.
Yeah, you're going at such a slow pace and a continuous
Eat.
same pace. So.
Feet? What? What is this feet?
I don't know what it is. Is it
Oh,
Metrics!
metrics! Ah!
system.
Ah!
Sorry, I thought that it was usually meters and then it changed feet.
Woo! Woo!
Okay.
Giving me psychic damage.
And-
You attach the little notch into the bowstring, places the arrow onto the little shelf that it exists on the bow, draws it,
Not great.
fires. You could have hit more in the center of the tree, but your arrow, graces it. It doesn't stick into the tree. It's more of a bounce off and it falls into the fern. But it was, practice movements that she did. She drew it correctly. We lifted it away from her arm into her back so she could hold longer.
Quick question. Watching Ginevra do this, obviously remaining as impassive as possible, Akron is going to, be really focusing on her form. Does this look like formal training?
Same.
Ooh! What a question!
How you do this.
What a
Like,
I mean, there's no two ways to draw a bow. No matter if you're.
I bet.
But I mean, posture. Because,
Nah.
I mean,
There's only one proper way to draw a bow. No matter if you're military or you're a hunter or you're a hobbyist, there's one proper way to draw.
But she does it properly then.
Yes.
That's my question, I
Yes.
guess. Is
Yes.
It looks
Yeah,
like she
she's
does
not
it.
like she. Yeah,
looks
that's
comfortable-
true.
She looks comfortable with it. She doesn't look like she's like. It's like she pulls out comfortably. It's a very fluid. Like most of her movements, very
Yeah,
fluid.
true. Very true. Yeah, so it's not like she learned on her own and learned some
Right,
bad form. She
Yeah.
either had the right tutoring and whatever that tutoring comes from. Who knows?
That was my question. I'm sorry, I asked it badly. But yes, that was
No
my
worries.
question. Is whether
No
she was
worries.
taught or
No
learned
worries.
herself.
We got there. Whoa! Communication.
Like I said, it's not exactly what I spend all my time doing, but it's good enough in most situations.
You hunt?
Not really. No. I'm mostly in cities, so.
Did you?
So what do you use a
I've-
bow for?
I like how it feels.
You like how it feels.
Yeah, I like the freedom of the flight of the arrow. And I prefer, look at me. I wouldn't do much protecting myself in close combat, so I prefer to have something that might deal with any issues at a distance.
Understood.
I think
So I'm
at
glad to
the
have you two around.
I think at the Ginevra's I like how it feels. Akron kind of gets like a slightly far away look for just a second and definitely backs off the interaction. But just at the end gives you when you mentioned you like having us, just kind of gives you like a nod.
Satisfied?
I didn't mean to test you. It was merely making sure that you're a lady of your word.
And are you satisfied of that?
For now.
Alright. I'll put it back over my shoulder. Wondering whether I can recover that arrow. I mean, I did shoot it in front, so I'm hoping I can.
I mean, you already like walked past it because you were shooting on horseback. Was your horse
It
was
was,
still
it was 30 feet, 30 meters away, sorry.
no 30 feet would turn into 6 meters away.
No, that's why I meant 30 meters away was how far I was shooting it.
Ah, but then you need to do it as disadvantage.
No, that's within my range.
Oh yeah, because you have a longbow.
Yeah. That's within my first range.
Okay. Well, you can jump off the horse and go searching for it if you want to.
Oh, I was aiming at a tree that I could see,
Yeah, it
so I'm
bounced
hoping
off.
that it's quite clear to see where it is.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
True. I mean, I won't be saying that you need to roll a roll to be searching for it, but it still like disappear from you in the underbrush.
Yeah. When I get up to the tree, I'll get off the horse to recover the
Yeah,
arrow.
because it didn't lodge itself; it just bounced off.
Mhm.
All right, cool. You got back your arrow. Nice.
I ain't got many of these. You can't carry many in a quiver.
All right, and you continue on your way, or you wanna blabber on some more?
I think I'm ready.
I will take the silence as a
Ready
hint.
for progress?
All right.
Yeah. I think
Not
the
yet.
conversations Akron wants to have are Akron's socialed out for the moment. We've hit like the max number of social interactions per horse ride for the moment.
Aaron's going to be more focused on making sure that, the markers on the road or the landscape about where he wants to take them are like he can see them and before passing them.
Yeah,
So
and
he's focused on the road.
give me a survival cunning. No,
Oh,
survival
okay, I
intelligence.
missed it.
Survival intelligence. This is more of a recall. Figure out something new. 15. Yeah, no. What is that picture you have? Indeed, you find you have Nixon. Sorry. Nothing. You find a path that you have used before, where it takes you indeed to a thicket that you have liked in the past to sleep in, considering how it hides you pretty well from view as sunset is upon you.
I lead the party off the road and, several meters into the thicket.
Alright. Aaron suddenly takes off into the forest.
I don't suddenly take off. I kind of like galloping away. Bye.
Follow.
Yeah, we'll fall behind.
Alright.
To a kiwi.
Thicket, not clearing.
Into the thicket.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's oh.
I was just gonna stick it like an open type area, but dense.
A
grass, or
thicket is
stick it, like-
another name for like a tight forest.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no worries. I have been researching a lot of nature names when I named everything on my map.
Yeah.
Imagine not growing up in a forested area.
You walk into the forest with your horses in short pace. Like 100 or 2 meters in, just enough so you feel comfortably away from the road, but can get to it pretty quickly in a pinch. And you find that old camping spot that you've been using, Aaron. From how it looks, it seems like other people sometimes use it as well because it's such a good spot. But it has been quite some time since the last visitor.
Right. Do a quick check around to see if there's nothing left behind, or anything odd or strange looking. Traps. Check for traps.
I'll help out. I'm also looking for like vantage points or like exit points around the camp. Like, what's the quickest way to the road? Like, if I can see any like environmental hazards.
Right. Well, you're just in a tight part of the forest where you have a little bit of an overview of the area around you. But that's about it.
Just helping Aaron. It was just me describing how I'm helping.
But let's do on a perception intelligence with advantage because you help each other.
Go ahead.
Always I wanna be with you.
All right.
Do you want me to roll or do you want to?
I just rolled. You can roll with advantage. I mean, makes no difference. I only have a.
Okay, I'll do it too. I think
Makes no difference.
Sorry, I was gotta go like real close, like an old person, to freaking read my thing because I'm illiterate.
Numbers.
Well,
with advantage.
Oh yes, with advantage.
advantage.
I forgot that. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just about
That's
to
to
say.
like
It's a good
eat
time.
myself off a bridge.
Good thing is with advantage. I mean, there's like a discarded shirt in a bush that somebody left behind. Somebody might have been out here for more wild ways. As it's a bit of a picnic spot, I guess. But there is, however, a little stack of firewood that is in a dry area underneath a tree. Doesn't seem to be any traps around or weird things in the forests, from what you can see. So, looks good. Looks dry. Looks nice.
Okay. I'll grab that shirt, tear it up a bit for kindling, and proceed to
Just get a fire
start
going.
making a small fire, but I'll dig a hole so that it's a sunken fire, so that the light is hidden from the surface of the ground.
So you only got the smoke and the heat, basically.
Exactly.
Cool.
Damn, Akron gives you just the smallest look of like respect. So, we thought similarly. You've earned a look of a little bit of respect.
And you struggle with setting up tents, No matter how good you are at it, it's always a bit of a struggle. But up they go, eventually. Settle in with some bedrolls, and maybe one of you have a blanket. Roll over a small stalk so you can sit down comfortably. And by the time where you all like sit down and breathe from starting the camp, it has already turned a bit murky outside.
Shit, I'm just gonna have to do this in view of people. That's fine. Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, what?
I'm gonna have to start preparing those carrots, or the vegetables.
We're gonna do
10
carrots.
Yeah.
Gonna do some carrots.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
If anyone questions the ridiculous amount of vegetables I have, that's
No, I suppose.
No.
no, I have like 4 kilos of like vegetables.
Carrot soup for dinner?
No, these are for eating. Is that what you have? Was that in character?
Yeah.
Oh, well then Akron just gives you like a weird look, like
As a kind of joke. But
that was a stupid question.
Think,
What are you
Aaron-
doing with all those carrots, girl?
Anyway, before we start getting into the carrots, as we sit down, you characters sit down to have a long rest. Let's us as well go on a quick break.
Yes.
Woo!
Okay, yeah. I will
Heck
be
yeah.
back.
Yeah, I'll be back in
Yeah,
a
back in a
moment.
sec.
Go and do some stretches, empty your bladders, add more water. I don't know. Go pet the dogs or cats if you got them.
Guinea pigs.
Go and give your significant other a peck on the cheek if you got them. No,
Yeah.
just do the stuff that you should be doing.
Good stuff. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, do that. But hey, you guys have me now. So, hello, Igor the Vicious. Welcome. So nice to have you. I can answer any questions that you have, but just know that it's lovely to have you in the chat. A heavy armored warlock warrior riding in an armor clad battle camel? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Absolutely, no problem. I might have a good one. A good question? Or a good pun? Bex, what do you call those cold kids standing in the rain yesterday? What do you call those cold kids? Their names are Rose and Thorn, but what they really are, you know, that's under GM confidential.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello. I'm just being disappointed by Suki in the chat and his puns. I'm very disappointed right now.
It's so cool to have such an active chat this time. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. It's very fun. But yeah. Acheron is in D&D terms like a monk rogue.
Yeah.
Titania is, Jesus Christ, she's a wizard, paladin, and the last one is Bard, yeah. Wizard, paladin, bard. Ginevra is rogue, cleric, and Aaron is paladin, and then it's a class, you know, that I've created called Soul Oath, which is like a martial knight. So paladin, martial knight. Yeah, that's our party. It's really complicated. Frostmark is so wondrous when you can like mix and match classes to your heart's content. So it kind of get a little
really
confusing.
cool. It's a
Yeah,
I can vouch. I love how I was able to make Acheron. I mean, you're not going to really be able to see it much until we do some actual combat, but despite having like monk and rogue levels and, you know, in D&D terms, Acheron fights in a very unique way to both of them, like mixing them in a very interesting way, and it's I definitely, if you're into getting to build classes in a way that's not like as super restrictive, this is a fantastic system for unique fighting styles.
Indeed, exactly.
Not just hyping Bexxy up because I'm involved, but because I've played a bunch of systems and it's true. So.
Aww. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
The one of the core design philosophies of Frostmark is to try and make a system that follows your character rather than having a character that follows the system. Oh my god, Suka! Why? Why are you like this? Stop, please! So now I just want to build a character whose main focus in battle is just to run in and headbutt everyone all the time. I mean, you can probably flavor your unarmored attacks as headbutts, I guess.
What you're looking for is finesse discipline, actually, I can confirm.
I don't know, this kind of sounds like a football hooligan.
Finesse discipline.
No, don't say the tip of the iceberg. I'm gonna murder you next time in our game. So, icing on the cake. Fuck! Well, there we go. Your character's dead. Good job.
Rip.
Rip.
F in chat. Big rip.
The biggest F.
It's okay. A bard monk who runs and headbutts everyone singing football songs. We had an idea of, me and Joey, when we were just talking, we had an idea of a barbarian monk that went into a cold, calm fury. So usually they're a very, boisterous person, but when they get angry, they just get really fucking cold and calm, and it goes into, like, the discipline shit.
If you can do an Irish accent like that, there's nothing scarier than a calm Irish accent.
That's so true, though. That's very true. This is it's really cool for building things like that, though.
Yeah. There's no class restrictions. Yeah.
It's the one problem with it, though, is it does not stop you from making full DPS glass cannons as your character type.
That's not my fault, it's yours.
I know, no, I take full blame for this.
Yeah.
My character's imminent death is on me.
One hit shop.
It really is, though.
Constant anemia.
I could, if I were to like completely max out the damage my character could do, I could almost take myself out in one hit. But
Can you
then
imagine reflected damage?
No, listen.
Punch yourself in the face.
As someone who plays a lot of Rune Knights, horrifying. The worst and best part of Rune Knight is that rune.
No. Don't say I'm gonna say frosted. Oh no, cool-headed. Fuck. Stop, please.
Chill.
I'm taking psychic damage.
Gotta stay chill.
This is not cool.
Okay, everybody, please.
It's not cool.
Oh.
Hola.
Welcome back.
¿Qué tal?
¿Cómo estás? Lola?
Ah, bene.
Ah,
I'm going in between different languages now.
again Italian.
Bueno.
Bene, molto bene. Come stai?
This is the aftermath. Roll d20 to see how much damage you made to Bex. No! No! Vicious mockery, but in pun format.
Damn, imagine knowing languages.
Alright.
But you will, right?
I'm trying. I do have the barrier where in order to learn languages in a classroom setting, you have to take a written test. So I don't actually know how any words are spelled in any other language. I barely know how words are spelled in English because of the whole dyslexia thing. I really wanted to take Chinese because I'm trying to learn Chinese on my own.
Oh no.
My best friend and roommate is half Chinese. And I can speak it, I can understand it. I'm illiterate though because I cannot read the text unless it's like projector size.
Yeah.
Like
the characters are not easy to learn.
I just physically, well, the thing is the lines on the characters will blur together or move, so I physically cannot read. I'm actually illiterate in
there
script
are characters
languages.
that look effective, like even to people, without any kind of problems that are so similar, it's like ridiculous, but they mean completely different things and they're pronounced completely different ways. So,
I mean, if I could like
it's a tough one.
blow them up, it's fine, but they'd have to be like,
Can't
they'd
be
have
easy.
to like start at like this like bigger than the size of like a fingernail. So I can't take tests in an academic setting because
Can't be easy being
yeah.
Chinese and dyslexic. Jesus.
I'm curious whether or not like the symbols would move as well.
For me, it's the lines jump symbol. Like they do little, because for me, it's letters like just switch places in words and stuff. It's constantly like, if you were to like put something in like a scrambler, that's kind of what it's like, but they're like constantly moving. So for me, like the lines, like the swoops and stuff will like jump characters. Sometimes it just looks like they're vibrating violently and I just can't make anything out.
Basically, you're playing in glitch mode.
Yeah.
Like,
You better update the system.
Somebody messed with the debug menu.
exactly.
Real fun.
Put the cheat codes in.
Alright. Anyway, let's get back into it. All right, you're sitting around this submerged campfire on a stalk or a rock. Your tent's behind you. You're probably eating some dinner. Subtract rations for both you and the horses for today, please.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone doing it, or am I doing it?
I took off my own rations.
I'm doing it in
Oh.
my inventory right
Oh,
now.
we have party
You have
rations.
party rations.
Okay.
I'm
Oh.
not gonna do it because I can't numbers.
Okay, I'll do it. For
Yeah, 4 of the rations then.
4 personal rations and 4 of the
Horse ration.
4 seat rations.
Exactamente.
I mean, there's like grass and stuff around here, right?
Yeah, but it's also that your horses have been in stables, but probably have eaten a little bit of the hay, you know, on the way here. So by now we definitely have consumed that much.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I have now cored all of. If I give the horses my remaining, I'll ask anyone if they want an apple before I give them to the horses, so long as they save the seeds.
Right?
Horses do not save seeds.
No, that's why I core them first. But I'm asking the party if they want an apple first.
I'll
but
take an apple.
as long as you have to save me the seed. I'll actually Akron will core it first, so you get it like cut in half, and the core is
You don't
missing. It's
trust
really
me
nice.
To be able to eat
With a
it without
blade.
eating the seeds.
I don't want to explain why I need them, so I just give it to you like cord. To you it just seems like a nice thing to do. I just cut it and I core it for you, and it's all nice.
Do I believe that shit? I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't.
I mean, you can ask if you want. Because I keep the core for myself, and I mean, I'm like
I'm
opening
what
it up,
is
and
this? I say, why?
I need
what
the
is that?
seeds.
Yeah, you could have just told me you don't need to core the thing out. I can eat it without, leaving the seeds in.
So like now I can get them now.
I've never eaten a cored apple like this before. Thanks, though.
You're
It's just
welcome.
gonna crumble in on itself, like, it's gonna be a mess.
It's just like cut in half. It's just a fucking apple. That like middle mix.
Oh, you got it out. Okay.
Yeah, no. When I say I
Eat it
cord
like
it, I
a
like
whole
cut
apple
it in
now.
half and just put it back together. Just out of spite.
Grab some duct tape.
Yeah, Akron just cut it in half and like took the middle bits out. It was like here, 2 halves of an apple.
Oh, okay,
without-
okay.
But yeah, no. I don't think Akron's fancy enough to like actually get like all of the middle out.
Or,
Just like yeah,
drink.
that well. So
Thanks.
All right. You
regardless,
do
I have
that.
all of my apple seeds now.
You
all
have
12
all
of
your.
them.
Yes, you do.
But,
And
now to deal with the carrots.
yeah, you need to deal with the carrots, but you can use the fire for this because now you need to basically roast the carrots to coax out as much oil as possible from them, and then you shred the meat and press it. And I
Alright.
think we are able to do those things tonight with the 2 kilos of carrots that we have. So
Akron's not really gonna hide doing this, obviously.
I
So
recognize what she's doing.
ah.
I must have seen this, like a form of this been done at least with the wolves before.
With the wolves, I don't really have that kind of expertise, and from where it's not really, it's definitely not common.
different methods, maybe.
Beyond
But,
that, before
From
that,
other knowledge. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same sort of ingredients, but preparation in this way.
with the wolves, as I said, they're basically country bumpkins who come together and created a militia, right?
It doesn't have to be with the wolves.
But before that, did you really think that they would deal with such things? Wouldn't
I
that be seen a
mean-
little bit dishonorable in some way or underhanded?
I'm gonna let
She's been
you.
wearing a lot of carrots and not eating them. Probably. get
It's
something
less
from-
about that they would have done them, and more about the knowledge of it happening.
Yeah, they're true. They're very.
I think it's safe to say it's suspicious, whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
She
exactly. It's
is.
just more
You
like-
recognize that she is definitely pressing and extracting carrot oil. For what reason, you're not entirely sure. But since it's Acheron, you know, you might have your suspicions, if you say it like that.
Right.
I'm also gonna throw the letter in the fire.
Alright,
Oh.
goes into the fire. Burns up.
This happens, Acheron just turns. Like, Acheron was like, pressing carrots, maybe even like humming really quietly. Just music stops. Motion stops. Turns slowly to look at Ginevra.
I look back sincerely, like, trust me, basically.
I see how it is.
You didn't seem to like what was in the contents of that letter.
Yeah. I'm waiting for an opportune place to speak about it.
You were
You
very
feel
low
like-
there for the stream. Can you repeat?
I'm waiting for a more opportune place to speak about it. Someone that isn't
sorry.
Savoie.
Sorry.
Yeah, because you couldn't have just passed the fucking letter around.
No, I couldn't, trust me.
I don't. That's the problem,
fine.
isn't it? Acheron just goes back to the carrots.
Alright.
Titania quietly takes note of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I get the feeling that you're ill at ease, priestess. Is it because the stars are above you tonight?
Not necessarily. More that there's just usually I would like being in open spaces, but obviously things are not usually like this. So,
Usually like what?
like our current situation.
Being in the presence of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in danger here?
Not any more than we have been.
So
Alright.
yes.
I'm trying to minimize any more danger. You guys keep asking questions.
It's gonna happen.
Well, preferably not from me being.
Shunk! A bolt nails down into a tree 2 meters away from you. Hanging from it is a white letter with a red letter stamp. Then, silence.
I grab
my-
my sword and I stare into where the angle of where the bolt came from.
Alright.
I'm gonna go look at the letter.
It seems to have been somewhere from the north. Kind of came in from a higher angle, so it's, it was dark outside, you weren't really keeping track. It's a wide angle it could have come from, but somewhere from the north.
Yeah, like, crack the darkness.
Gonna go up to the letter, like just get up from it. Campfire, walk over.
Mhm.
Like seeming calm on the outside. Acheron's keeping like an open ear, an open whatever, but body language betrays nothing. Looks just as calm, if not slightly agitated, as the whole ride.
And looking at the letter, you can clearly see the Canalux coat of arms.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna take it off of the thing and open it myself.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can open it.
Least secretive secret group ever.
Truly.
And I'm gonna look at it.
Us.
Like, I'm not gonna show it to the others. Like, first I'm just gonna take it off and open it and read it.
Alright.
Oh,
To myself. First, so let me...
Just scroll for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Two letters in one day. Why? And why like this?
Is he not doing a good job of staying undercover?
Oh no, Titani's terrible at it.
As Acheron is like reading this, and like Aaron comes back and he like looks at Titania's like as he sees the coat of arms. It's like someone tracking you, Titania. Someone else rather. In addition, tracking you.
That's what I'm wondering.
I think that might be the case. I think that's what the letter I got was about.
Why? Your past letter was just about coming home from your mother. Why the insistence right now?
I need to see it first once Acheron's done with it.
Yeah, Tia, come here.
Okay. I'll take a look.
Yeah. Acheron is gonna highlight some words. I can read it for people
Yeah.
watching if you'd like.
Yeah, read it aloud.
Unless, it is to Tani's letter, so Lynn, if you would like to, but I can also
Yeah.
read it if you're busy.
Whatever, miss.
Whoever wants to. I'll just read it, I guess. Baby sis, I usually know exactly what to write in my letters, but you have left me a bit dumbfounded, like usual. I hope you are doing well, that you are happy. You might not think I would, but I truly do. I know that Mother wrote you a letter. I had to support her when she did. She cried for hours afterwards. It is true, Mother is truly sick. She receives a visit from a healer priest every week. On top of that, she hasn't been herself after you left, and it has only gotten worse. I understand that you might not want anything to do with Father and our family name, but I am sure that you cannot truly hate the rest of us, right? Could we not meet up in Blackburn? I travel with Mother there, and we sit down and have tea together. I could also bring... Is it...
Flayance.
Flayance. Okay, thank you. I could also bring Flayance. He is dying to meet you again. Not only would that make us worry less, it could help Mother with her sickness, and Father has been scolded by some church officials for driving away someone of his family, especially someone as gifted as you. We are in a bit of trouble. Please, baby sis, we miss you. Much love. Beatrice Canelux, heir apparent. So,
This is even more confusing.
Acheron's going to, with their finger, point out the could we not meet up in Blackburn, and it could help Mother with her sickness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't... So they know where we live, my family, which I haven't told them.
We knew that she knows where we live. Well, where you live. I'm more... It could help your mother's sickness.
Wow. Okay, you know,
Acheron's gonna,
I
like,
understand why
you know, yeah,
Mother...
just to make sure
I
you get it,
understand why
Acheron's gonna, like,
Mother
take
would
your
send-
hand.
Mhm. I understand why Mother would send a suspicious letter, but... Beatrice? No. Why delivered like that? Why on an arrow? She's... I'm writing notes.
Acheron is going to turn... This is a terrible choice.
It's a bolt, though. It's
a bolt. Yeah.
Here we go. Acheron's gonna turn around, stare into the forest in that direction that the bolt came from. Just like a very leveled, acknowledging look of, I see you. Acheron's giving the very, I recognize what this means kind of look. And then we'll quickly throw like a bird to the forest.
Well, forest doesn't react back. Only the darkness stares back at you.
Does it look like a regular bolt?
That's a good question. Does it look like a regular bowl?
It's very well crafted. Seems more, military make than, somebody, doing it as a hobby. But it doesn't have any markings.
I wouldn't. I was gonna ask why wouldn't they approach you, but are they using someone else to pass the letters on?
Presumably the church. And also, this last paragraph has me confused. Father has been scolded by some church officials for driving away someone of his family, especially someone as gifted as you. Father made a deal
Why would
with
the
the church to
But you don't
Take me
talk
away.
to them anymore.
Why would the church use a bolt to send a letter to you when they use Strasser to send a letter?
Do we really have to spell this out? It's a message?
Also, another check. Is this in Beatrice's handwriting?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, just checking.
A
Tia.
message.
You don't speak to your family anymore. He has driven you away.
Mm-hmm.
He sold you the first time, then you stopped contacting them. You're no longer in their power. And it is a message. And my guess is they know we know.
They know you know what.
Patron, I'm not picking up on any of the subtle messaging right now. I'm more than a little bit flustered.
Do you
Okay.
think that they're doing this because they know of our awareness and they're using this to make her afraid?
Essentially. This is the first message was a threat in and of itself to Tamia. She, and Akron's gonna put like heavy emphasis on the name, and then pause, and then so this is like because it's kind of established for Titania. This is significant. Akron never says the name, so then I was gonna say Irene probably is displeased with your developments away from your family. Sure, you were traded before, but you were still under their influence, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not.
She wants me to abandon this mission.
Or she wants
run
you
away.
to return afterwards.
Or that.
Is this someone in the church?
It's a
Is someone in the
cardinal's name.
church?
I bet Geneva would know her name.
Yeah. I mean,
The
the
cardinal.
mention of Irene and the mention of Margrave, the cardinal, the highest authority in Margrave, her name is Irene.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So they know that you're on this mission.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Remember when I told you what would happen if her name ended up in one of your reports or a report of someone in the church? As for... Yeah, this was... Aaron, you asked a question a while ago that I missed. What was the message or
Yes.
something?
More like I think it's like what were you hiding or like no?
Oh, yeah, why is the church
Yeah.
doing this?
They want something from me, but they don't want me dead. They want me to come back. Home in Crow Hill, for some reason. Or that's bait. That's bait, let's be honest.
The church.
The
Your
church,
family?
yes.
But your family are the ones writing these letters.
Apparently. I wouldn't be surprised if agents could copy that handwriting, though.
So you're not convinced that it's their handwriting?
Mm-mm.
Alright.
It's been 10 years. I haven't contacted them. They haven't contacted me. Why now?
Because they want what we're after.
Because it's the church who actually wants it. And maybe they do want it. Maybe this is true information, but it's also still bait.
Well, of course, I don't know how to say this kindly. So, I apologize in advance. It just hurts you. You had to know it was going to come to this.
Oh yes, I know. Not pleased.
And then you know you're gonna have to make a choice eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you think they want you to abandon the mission to follow this through?
Yeah, they don't want me to be here, which is all the more reason why I want to stay.
Yeah, but they. But then they also want this thing, surely. That's why they're sending me. And they
I
surely
don't
can't think
think-
that it can go through without all of you here. I mean, the rest of you are here because Titania is here. I wouldn't be able to go on alone.
You ever think maybe that's the point?
How long have they been following you, Titania?
Well, let's see. Trying to think back on it. At least, what, 5 years now?
5 or 6?
5 or 6, he's right. Titania would definitely have the actual number. I'm just pulling it up in my Google Docs.
It's within the time limit that he's thinking, so... Has there ever been an instance when one of your books went missing?
Let me find the exact year first. Oh, 7 years actually. 7. Yeah, 7 years. 7 years ago. Not
Oh, yeah.
my books in particular, but books I wanted to read.
Your
Your
journals?
stuff's public.
What do you mean public?
Titania is a public researcher. She publishes papers that are public.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, hearing this information, looks sternly at Titania and says, "Did you publish my name?"
No, I have not published your name. That expedition was purely noted on what I discovered, not what I did to well, kind of what I did discover, but it did not mention any hired help or names for testimonies because I know they wouldn't like that.
Empathy check that.
Alright.
You said it
Yes.
very straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for your ego, this really isn't about you.
Unfortunately, well,
It's
there are
well,
grander things in this world than just merely the church Acheron.
She's being honest, she's not published her name. She's being very straightforward.
Can you perhaps explain something? Maybe perhaps Acheron might be able to inform if you do not know the answer, Titania.
Okay.
What am I
Well-
informing?
Actually, this is more of a question for Acheron. Your hair color, has it always been like that?
Yes.
How many agents do you know?
Like, how many am I aware of, or how many did I know personally?
How many have you met?
How many were in my graduating class, and how many would have been at Fort Einor? So let's start with how many were in my class that made it to the end?
Well, you're 9 of 4. So, let's do this. There you go. 9.
How many of those 9 have brown curly hair?
What?
You're running from someone with brown curly hair?
No.
I mean, brown curly hair could be like a common. Can you describe more? Could be like a common feature.
Short, slim, somewhat delicate features, one could say.
Female?
Female.
How long ago?
2 years.
Kern just kind of like freezes and narrows their eyes at Aaron. Are you a fucking plant? What is this? How? What fucking games are you playing? Did they buy you off?
Who's they?
The church, obviously.
This is someone from the church.
Akron's like physically shaking. Like fists balled at their side. There's like clear like rage and like extreme like grief in their eyes. This is one of the most open displays of emotion you've seen. Like their entire body's like physically shaking at this. Who? When? What were the circumstances?
The circumstances are non-real description, short of this one girl certainly tried their very best to get to me. And I had once thought that, well, Titania, I thought that they came through you.
Akron's gonna hold up like a hand, Bexxy. Bexxy there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Akron's gonna hold up like a hand to like Medea's height and ask if this was the height of the person.
Oh. Seems about right. I mean, hard to tell. But doesn't feel wrong.
Possibly. It was a while ago.
Akron's gonna ask, so the actual escape was about a year and I don't know how many months I forgot how many months are in a year, but it was like around like a third of, like at like the third of the year. So Akron's gonna ask if it was before or after that point. A year in like whatever 2/3 of the year would be. Because I know I didn't send you like an actual date, so I'm trying to establish if it was before or after the escape, just so that you know what I'm asking.
Oh.
So Aaron can answer whatever the truth of that is. Akron would say like a date or a time. I just don't have the lore date.
I don't think we settled the time for that.
It was a year. It was like a year and 2/3 would have been when the escape was. So, but Akron would know the date and would ask if it was before or after that time.
All right. Aaron, do you have any specifics on that?
Aaron doesn't keep a calendar.
Which season was it?
Like, same thing I was saying more to like
The
spring.
seasons, yeah. I mean, it was 2 years and maybe a little earlier. You know, it's hard to really, for him to say, like, at that point in time what he was doing. It was not necessary for him to keep time.
She wasn't an assassin.
What makes you say that, Akira?
This it must be someone else. This can't be who I'm thinking of. She wouldn't. That wasn't her job.
Wasn't whose job?
I may have known this person if it's who I think it is, which it can't be. And she failed? Well, clearly.
Are you talking about her? I kind of point to the...
Yeah, Akron kind of like touches the tattoo, and just half nods. Yeah, if this was Medea, I knew her very well. And you can rest easy because she's dead, so.
Because she failed.
Because I failed.
What did you fail?
I made the choice. I was gonna talk quieter so that people in the floors can't hear. Get closer and talk a lot quieter because oh fuck. This is like high murder fuel.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is so dangerous to say out loud. And Akron's gonna like put cups like around their mouth so that no one can read their lips other than the people directly in front of them.
Fair.
So, about 2 years ago, I was sent on a mission, an assassination, and I, knowing the price, made the choice not to, which is a death sentence. And Medea and I we'd been planning to leave for a while. We'd wanted to, but it's interesting. Tanya's never heard this story, so Akron like sends a look at Tia. It's the same like guilty, sad, grief-stricken look that always comes up with this story, but continues for the first time.
So can we do this like by the fire so that the
that's fair.
This
go
is
over the words a bit
That's
subtle
valid.
as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing this as subtly as possible.
And it's just kind of like hot.
We were running. We had made arrangements with Titania to try to find a place to lay low. And we were ambushed on the road. They knew where we were going or what route we would take somehow. We were so careful. And I didn't even see it. I heard the sound of an arrow and she didn't get up. And I was busy trying not to die. Eventually I was able to throw myself off a cliff into a river, bleeding heavily enough that I guess they assumed I died.
So you just didn't see her get up.
Well, I mean, she had a fucking arrow through her chest, so yeah. And I didn't exactly have time to check the body. There were kind of 4 people trying to murder me at the minute.
Wasn't it through the throat?
Oh, was it? Yes. Sorry, my bad. Excuse me, Akron says through the throat. My bad. I am so smart.
No, it's okay. I gotcha. Got your back.
Thank you. Yeah, people don't usually survive arrows through the throat. So.
Why?
Did you just ask me why people don't survive arrows through the throat?
Why was there an arrow in the throat in the first place?
Because we were running from the... Because agents don't get to leave. That is the price. Because I chose not to complete my mission.
You didn't see who was shooting at you.
I saw them. It was agents sent to murder us, as is protocol.
What was your mission, Acheron?
Why does it matter?
Because if I was your mission...
You weren't. Okay, I didn't even know anything about you until Titania brought you up for this. And all she said is, hey, I know this guy Aaron. He helped me with something earlier.
So why do you know this girl? And why don't you know about the mission that she had to try and assassinate me?
You don't talk about your missions. You're not allowed to. You're not supposed to. And I know her because we were agents together.
Clearly she didn't tell you everything.
No fucking shit. She couldn't. This is the lot of the agent. You do what you're told and you shut the fuck up about it, or else you die. Why can't you seem to understand that?
I understand it. It's just...
And don't you dare try to tell me that I didn't know her, okay?
Can I roll to determine your emotional change?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Do it. Do it. You can roll against if you want to hide, or you can just say...
I don't think Acheron has, like, the mental... Acheron's pretty open right now.
Okay, so what does it say?
Emotional change, or just what emotions are there right now?
Basically, what emotions are happening. I mean, you can decide how you want to explain it.
There is a lot of anger. Whether it's who it's directed at might be confusing, but especially at that part, there is, like, a heavy grief. Like, the kind of grief for a lost loved one. This relationship, I'll say, you can probably tell this relationship was a lot further than I just worked with her.
Okay.
A lot heavier.
Aaron, like, judges your demeanor, I guess, in that way. And sitting on... I guess we're sitting on logs. Picks out his sword.
Uh-huh.
And leans back and takes out his whetstone and spits on it and starts grinding the edge.
It couldn't have been her. She wasn't an assassin. She must have been after something else. Why were the agents sent after you in the first place? You want to dig out my past? Fuck you. Why are they after you?
I didn't ask to dig up your past, Acheron. I merely asked a question, and you responded in such a way that it's understood this person meant to you.
Why were they after you?
She didn't say.
Did you actually speak to her?
There isn't... well... no, but there's something to be learned when you are face to face with an assailant who won't back down. Clearly, yes, she failed.
Did she think that you were dead, or... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, not at all. There was very little she could do. There was very little she was able to do at the end.
What does that mean?
It means I don't think your agents are all that amazing, Acheron.
You think what you like. Whatever. Clearly my lessons aren't gonna sink in. Did you actually fight her, or did you just find somewhere safe? Like, what is, I don't think she was all that being supposed to mean.
Oh, she tried. She tried her hardest, I think.
Are you saying you killed her? Pretty
No,
sure she was, well, clearly.
I didn't kill her. She ran. She ran away, unable to do much else. And credit where credit is due. She was rather dexterous, one could say. But there's a reason they call me the Gold Wing. Maybe you'll learn it sometime.
So they're probably after you then.
Maybe. It only happened after I took that mission with Titania, though. Up until then, everything was fine and breezy. Not a single rain cloud.
Maybe she lied about you.
Maybe she did.
Yeah, she was stupid good like that. Because that's what happens to good agents. Akron's gonna throw it at, like, Ginevra's direction. They get put down because they aren't fucking people. Hope you're happy with your fucking religion.
But if this is who... If this is Medea, then...
It was before.
If it is her, then they allowed her to live after her failing a mission.
Maybe she lied about it, but also Medea was one of their best. She may have gotten off easy. Maybe they just tortured her a little bit. Killed her loved ones. Well, she didn't have family, but maybe they killed a friend. Gave her a harder mission, made her choose between 3 targets and torture whoever it was to death. Stick her in a cell for a month without resources. She's probably tortured for it, but I could see them letting something like this go for someone of her talents.
It's sad that she's dead. He continues sharpening the blade.
Was that genuine? Like, can I tell if that was genuine?
You can roll, yeah.
Yeah, go. Do it.
I mean, it's not... an empathy check isn't a lie detector. But,
No, it's just your emotional state.
my emotional state is, like, kind of really stable at the moment. So I'm not going to roll for deception. I'm going to roll for difficulty.
Persuasion. Alright, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying whether the tone of your voice sounded like you were being kind of...
Confident in your statement.
Yeah, I'll just do a flat
Yeah, or
d20.
being
Ah!
genuine.
Yeah.
You could tell when someone's trying to just say something. It's like...
Oh.
Oh.
Well, you can try and get a...
You could try and get over 20. I mean, it's not a critical.
Is that an empathy composure?
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Sorry.
Close. Yeah, his tone is level. He seems to be very relaxed about what he's doing. He's not even really engaging with Acheron's emotional change. It's very, very balanced.
A lot of good people are dead. The glory of Rion, truly.
Find it amusing.
Find what amusing.
That you choose to follow such a puppet.
Isn't it? I mean, I obviously don't know, but whether or not all of us those of us that do here choose to continue.
Aaron will kind of do a quick flick of the eyes towards Ginevra and say, "Why is it you follow that one?"
Because I believe I can do good in their service.
But why do you need to follow that one?
What other one would I follow?
I would thought you'd known if you were already rubbing your hands through my hair.
Why don't you enlighten me?
He's talking about the devil's idiot.
I would, but I'm not sure you would take me seriously if I'm honest.
Sounds like an excuse.
Yeah, well, you're really one to talk about excuses for not saying things, aren't you?
What are you looking for, Ginevra?
An answer?
The what question?
The one I just asked you. Who else?
You seem to be looking for something, otherwise you wouldn't have known to put your hands through my hair. What were you looking for?
Something different.
Tell me.
What does it matter?
Because I think you know, but you don't say.
There's plenty of things that you know that you don't say. I don't see why I should have to be any different. Regardless, I think the more pressing issue is what we're going to do about this letter. What Lynn wants to do. Whether she believes this is from her family.
I'm sorry, I kind of spaced. Sorry, I kind of spaced out for that. I'm still confused by this last paragraph. We didn't. Okay, so I was entirely honest. I was not disowned. I was essentially sold. Okay. Yeah. Father made a deal with Irene, to take me away. Then he comes back and gets scolded by church officials for that same action. He took in collusion with the cardinal. There's no way that's true. No way. And if it is true, why?
Why did he sell you?
That's not the...
Because I was troublesome. Because he's a power-hungry man who wants to do everything he can to be in the good graces of the church.
But you were causing troubles with your rejection of the church. How it's selling you to them, make them happy. It was quite clear that you weren't very interested in the church, what they had to say.
Do you ever think maybe there's shit we're not telling you?
It's very clear. That's why I'm asking. Because it's coming through bolts. So maybe it's a good time to talk.
I'm still not sure why me in particular.
Don't bring it up yet, at least. You and I have an idea why. I will say, it might not be what you were before, but what you've become now. that is the reason that your father's being chastised for chasing you away.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, so.
You are Irene's wet dream of a student now. Resourceful, cunning, intelligent, talented.
Another question. Why bother with the bait? Let's be honest. If she wanted me back, she could just ask some agents to kidnap me. But, okay, new knowledge. Aaron, this is an assumption. I apologize if this is wrong. Aaron has bested an agent in combat. So, maybe, and this would be very surprising to me, Aaron you are incredibly talented, that's true. But, does she not believe she could do it? There's no way. Of course she can. She has all the resources in the world at her disposal. Why the bait? Why the bait?
As far as we know, we are the only people to get away from her. Maybe she thinks you would just find another way out.
Was this after you left the church, Acheron? And you found Tia, and you both dealt with Irene, and you both escaped Irene?
No, we met earlier. Before we escaped.
This was when you met before, right?
Acheron did not just show up on my doorstep in a bloody pile before I met them.
Guess you could say Tia was the first job I ever failed.
So you were studying under Irene. You did something that annoyed her, angered her, or the church. They sent Acheron after you. Acheron refused.
I was sent to keep Tia in line while we were in the same proximity. How much more?
Okay.
I'm not gonna say.
That's fine. And you failed, but they weren't aware of your failure.
I mean, I think Irene knew had a suspicion that I helped with the escape. If the punishments that month were anything to go by, but not enough to kill me over, apparently.
So while you were there to keep her in line, you were helping her escape. And that's when you two left together.
No, I stayed behind for 5 years.
Oh.
You don't get to pity me.
I'm not pitying you. I'm just trying to understand the situation.
Okay, Acheron.
The point is,
We're not gonna get anywhere with the four of us if I don't share more. We're not getting anywhere. We're stuck with this mystery.
it's your choice.
Okay. Oh, deep breaths. I can't find the words. She just, she reaches into her bag, puts her spell book up on the ground in front of you guys, and heads to the tent.
Don't just leave it here.
She does not look in a healthy mental state. She just is like, here, read it, what you want.
Acheron's gonna...
Pick it up. so that it's not just out in the open.
Yeah.
Shield it.
Yeah. Ekar looks at it like, I can't believe this is the method you went with, and just shrugs.
He's okay.
Yeah, and just shrugs and is like, well, if this is what you wanted to go with, Ekar will be like, yeah, you know how you thought I had a soul mark?
Okay, interesting. Looking
Not me.
into the book.
Sorry, Bexxy.
Looking into the book.
Does the outside look like her other books that she's shown me before
I don't know.
in her? Does it look markedly different, or could it pass for one of your other books?
Well, her others are normal textbooks, Bexxy. The spell book she received from Eileen.
Right.
This is one of the ones that she look like one of the ones you write notes in.
It's it's
One of the ones she writes the notes in regular.
very mundane. It's just
It is mundane. Okay. Good.
it's well, I haven't got it so far, but it looks mundane on the outside.
Yeah, okay.
Like black leather bound, hefty, sturdy, but has no markings at all. Oh, at least for what you know. And flipping through the first couple of pages in the book, there are these, well, for Acheron, completely random shapes and an alphabet that, that is super duper weird. You have
I'm
no
familiar
fucking clue.
with the look of it, but
Yeah.
I've never tried to understand it.
Yes. Ginevra. Make me an occult with intelligence, please.
I mean,
All right. My fingers are like,
oh, it's all coming out now.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You also have an interesting background as well. You do recognize some of these shapes and some of this, what seems to be some kind of writing system from the church. Attached to, relics and artifacts, certain church, paintings and things like that. Some of these things will pop up, and the church explanation for them is the language of Rion. Not the language of Rion's followers, which is Rionish. This is like a tier above that. Which no other than priests are allowed to utter and know. And you learned certain words of it in your priest training for the miracles that you exhibit. And Aaron, you recognize this, but you've never seen it written down like this.
So you're never gonna be done with it, and then I have to see it, or are we like?
I mean, she left it on the floor.
I will say.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then like the book fell open, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Open for instance.
Okay.
I'm kind of shielding it. I'm not trying to shield it from you. I'm just trying to shield it from any outside eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Acheron did very quietly say, I think it got missed, that just out loud, you thought I was the one with the soul mark. You were wrong. Very, very, very quietly.
Yeah. I
But
have
that
that with me.
here.
Okay, just so I know where I am. Okay, go ahead. Bexxy?
Yes. I said to you that you recognize this for what it is, but you have never seen it written down like this.
This was her study and diary.
The gods.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send out a whisper.
Welcome to the inner circle of knowledge, Ginevra. Another secret for your pile.
You sending a message to me, Bexxy, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Surprised.
And this was why she was sold?
That's what became it. It's what came after. No, she did not have these talents before.
They were training her as a priestess?
No. No, she was not being trained as a priestess.
I don't understand. The cardinal taught her a language that priests are taught for their miracles, but she wasn't being trained as a priestess.
The cardinal who ran an agent program.
These things are taught to agents?
Nope. Not the ones I know of.
What did she want Tia to do with these? It's not like Tia could make an agent.
I don't know. But think about it. Your miracles. If it isn't clear, I know how you do miracles. Let's call them for the sake of keeping up appearances. And I know that you don't have to be special to get the mark that lets you do them. If an assassin is effective without miracle abilities, imagine one that could. I don't know if that's what was up. I wasn't in the circle of knowledge.
I know, hard to believe just with the way that Tia is. I mean, she doesn't have the personality for an agent.
Do you think they care what your personality is when you buy you? You're wrong.
Yes, why would they not pick the people who would be best suited? Why spend the time on that, on someone who isn't going to be fitting for the job?
Because
making someone more powerful when they're not effective is not going to make them any. It's going to make them more effective at being not good.
Because they have methods to turn you into someone else, obviously. It doesn't matter what your original self was when you came to them. You'll be who they want you to be by the end of it. Most agents, when they come in, are scared children brought into a program because no one will miss them and no one cares about them, and they come
That's
out
why I'm
by
wondering
the
why
end
they would
like
buy
tools.
Titania if they had such means.
Maybe this was special. They do have their fucking soul purity bullshit. Maybe those with the sphere are good enough for their little program.
She didn't learn about it before she left.
Do you think they ask if you want to be a part of this? Don't be an idiot.
No,
you
no.
don't get a choice.
If she's a part of it for several years, she could gather information about what was going on, what was the purpose.
You really think they tell us a lot, don't you?
I think they need to be told. I think it becomes evident in what they ask you to do. Unless it was simply just teaching you a language.
I don't know anything about this part of it. I wasn't part of this. And we didn't talk about it. We still don't.
Aaron finished looking over the book and looks up to Acheron. Says, "Where did you get this again?"
It's Tia's. It was given to her by Irene, I think.
And where did she get it from?
Irene, I think.
That's what I mean.
Do you think I know?
I'm just asking the question, Acheron.
Look, I don't know. Irene was my handler. She gave me jobs and punished me when I did bad. That's all I know about her.
You know nothing more, other than just she was your handler? Would Tia know?
She's a cruel bitch who likes to torture children? No, I don't know that much about her. She's a cardinal. She likes what she does and she's damn good at it. She has a pretty decent success rate with agents because she's, from what I've heard, one of the harsher handlers out there. I know that she runs Ainur Basilica, functions out of there, but I don't know how many there are or what the programs are or anything like that.
How could Tia be a part of the academy, be publishing things in Malgrave, and after escaping from the Cardinal? I mean,
she's from a rich enough family that it would be socially disadvantageous for Irene to kill her so openly. It would take a lot to cover it up. It'd be expensive and annoying for her, and as long as Tia did not publish anything pertaining to her time at Ainur, Irene seemed content to let her go.
Would Titania know more about Irene?
Possibly. I do hope you know that, I'm very sorry that you're being told all of this, by the way.
Me?
Both of you, but you especially.
Why do you apologize?
Because the sword that dangles above our head has now been transferred to yours as well. Welcome to the Circle of Trust. Your life's at stake for the rest of your life now.
I've never seen these written down before.
It's the language of miracles or whatever.
Is that what you call it?
That's what the church calls it. Again, I don't do them.
I'd be very much interested in finding out how this was written, or the symbols were possible to be transcribed such as this. This is...
Ginevra has a scroll with some more.
how would you know it without knowing it written? How would you recognize if you hadn't seen it written before?
Where I'm from, this sort of thing is only spoken. Kind of like a passing of a torch, so to speak. It is never written down. The fact that these runes are on a page in front of me is different.
Where the hell are you from that they speak this? It's kind of illegal. If you're not a priest, remember? Maybe you're from Yornhelm?
From the north.
Yeah, I do believe that's where that is.
Further north and beyond Helm.
I'm not sure I really understand what you mean by Bjornhelm.
Beyond Helm? Beyond Helm. Is that right? Stormholm. Sorry.
No,
You're saying it correctly. Saying it correctly.
Aaron, I'm asking you where you're from, that this is so casually spoken. No one knows this language but the priest, and you clearly aren't one. So where is so far out of the church's control but has the same fucking language?
Oh, it's not spoken anymore.
But you remember it, which means it must be you are dodging this question.
I'm not from anywhere, Acheron. Where I'm from doesn't exist anymore.
Fine.
It seems we all have something in common.
We have nothing in common. None of us here. I don't know why the fuck they're hunting you, Aaron. You
I'd
should
be
watch
very,
out.
very much interested to speak to Titania when she is steeled herself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on her. And Akron's gonna get up and go check on Titania.
Yeah. So Titania is inside our tent, kind of just curled up, knees to her chest, breathing very heavily. And doesn't really look up when you enter the tent.
I didn't tell them everything, just that Irene gave you the book and you weren't training to be a priest. Didn't actually talk about you know what. Seems Aaron recognizes the language. Says he
What?
can speak it or something. Yep.
Does
Says
I mean, we
that-
know we've seen
Says-
him cast before, so I guess, but
no, he says he speaks it. That where he's from it's
you say
spoken.
casually?
Like where he's from it's spoken and not written down. It's like a spoken language.
Hey, okay.
Are we telling them about what this actually is, or was that just you telling them that you can do miracles too?
I don't know. I just wanted to try and tell the truth and excuse myself at the same time, and that's what became of it.
Well, now they have more questions.
I should probably answer.
Take a breath.
It's vital that if we're gonna succeed on this mission, it's vital that we have them at our side, you know? And I'm not abandoning this. I can't what? I can't at this point.
Fine. And do you want to tell them everything? Or they want to know why Irene gave you the book and the
I'll
marks
just-
and everything.
Let them, I mean, some things I don't even know. I'll let them ask questions and I'll tell them what I know. I can't really... I'll work with that, okay. And Titania just kind of like grips Acheron's hand as she gets up and leaves the tent.
Yeah, I'll hold
sit up.
Titania's hand while we go out together.
Just sit with the group.
I think Acheron's like impassive mask has really slipped back into place and cemented there.
Alright, back to the suspense music, okay?
Okay. I apologize for leaving so suddenly. You probably have questions. I'll do what I can to answer them, I guess. Just give me time.
Something clearly happened to you, Tia, when to make all of this so dramatically impactful to you, to render you speechless. Not sure I remember you being quite this averse to saying things.
Well, it's not like we ever quite got to these specifics of this topic. Not a comfortable time in my life, you know? I don't really have a direction to start from. If you have questions, that's much easier.
Well, Acheron says you got this from Irene. Like, gestures to the book.
Yeah, and she rolls up her sleeves, and you see on her palms and the back of her hands is a very intricate geometric tattoo. The circles and shapes, and big star, a 5-pointed star on one palm and a 7-pointed star on another, which appear to be covering up some sort of burn scar, like very thick burn scar on her palms. And she gave me the book and the tattoo, the soul mark.
And with this reveal of, well, maybe not everybody understands what this is, but still, this momentous, gigantic reveal of a soul mark, we are going to end tonight's episode of Curse of Ages Return!